today we're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different than the norm, and what that is a book called Iron and Blood by author Brad Farley. Now, this is something that I just recently have finished. It is the first part in a several part series. I'm not exactly sure how many in total it's actually going to run, but so far the first two books are out, Iron and Blood, and then Iron and Stone is the second one. And what these are, they are large epic scale fantasy novels similar to, say, Lord of the Rings, or say The Wheel of Time, something along those lines. Something just big and sprawling. The ideas and the concepts in them are just huge, like, say, just kingdom sprawling, world sprawling ideas that are very gripping at the same time, where it has that sort of pulse pounding quick action that, like, say, a Robert E. Howard or a William King novel would have. And I personally am a huge fan of independent authors and artists and all that sort of stuff. So I get a kick out of finding new, really good books. And obviously, you guys have watched all the other stuff on my channel. I'm a huge fan of fantasy. It's it is my favorite genre of fiction in general. So it's something that kind of struck a chord with me. And overall, the novel has a lot of interesting concepts. The main character is kind of not necessarily your typical character. Actually, the entire thing is, because it's kind of, imagine if you would, something like the Vikings or something like that, if they had ever become like truly civilized, or to a certain extent civilized, and they actually created their own like civilization. So like they had their own empire, their own kingdom, whatever. And that's kind of the idea. And this first book deals a lot with the family dynamics behind the crown, basically. So you have the Iron Kingdom, which is the main basically player in the novels. And what it is you actually have the king, which is, he's known as the Iron King, and then you actually have his family. And what's kind of interesting is there's a lot of very interesting family dynamics that feel very real in a lot of ways. You get a lot of very real interactions between this sort of almost broken kind of family, where you have some stuff where the main character doesn't necessarily, even though that is kind of a bastard son sort of thing. So to a certain extent, you're getting some very interesting back and forth between a lot of the different characters. And it feels very real. The writing in it is very, very well done. And so it really kind of grips you, both of the action and the dialogue and the descriptions, all told, kind of get you in and suck you in and kind of move you through the story. Although it is it's a decent sized novel for this first one. It's not necessarily huge. It's not some sort of like Wheel of Time series or something where it's a 1,000-page book or anything like that. But it is a pretty big first book, but at the same time, it feels like you're reading a much smaller book, because you constantly are being pulled forward. The story kind of grabs you and brings you forward, and it makes you want to read that next page, which is really good. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a look at the back of the book and take a look at the synopsis and see what you guys think.
The Iron Kingdom, a half-mythical land conquered by barbarians an age ago, celebrated in song and legend. Here's a land of contrasts as beauty and savagery collide. The Northmen, now savages no more, struggle to leave that brutal past behind as they strive to become more civilized and find peace. Yet it remains a land in conflict, ruled over by the Iron King, a mighty ruler who himself is something of legend. However, the king has grown old, and the sun is setting on the days of his saga. Shadows grow long in the south, and Lord Gareth, a nobleman of doubtful lineage and agent of the crown, is returning home. A celebrated warrior within the Iron Kingdom, Gareth is eager to get back to his home and family. However, he has discovered a shadowy plot that threatens the kingdom. countless orcs gather under one banner in the mountains, their hungry eyes looking north as worse creatures join them. War looms on the horizon as some dark will seems to watch on in ravenous anticipation. To survive, men of iron must once again fight against a seemingly overwhelming tide of darkness. However, this fight is not for land or wealth. This battle will be for their very survival.
So, if that sounds interesting to you guys, then you can go over and pick up Iron and Blood on Amazon.com. They have it in both paperback and in the Kindle format, as well as part of the Kindle book club thing, whatever it's called, I'm not exactly sure. You can pick this one up, and then also there is another one which is Iron and Stone, and then he also has another novel that's actually out that I'm actually going to be doing another review on. It's called Pallid Moon. It's more of a horror fantasy. So again, if that interests you, go pick it up. They're very reasonably priced, and you can get it in multiple formats, whatever your favorite format is. So I hope you have all enjoyed this look at Iron and Blood, and maybe it has gotten some of you guys to maybe go out and pick it up. I hope you have all enjoyed this Stoneforge Gaming video.